What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday, people. Happy Good Friday, people celebrating Easter. And looking forward to another big Premier League weekend for Arsenal, man. I think every Arsenal fan knows deep down, this is one of them games that if we're going to win the title, we have to overcome this game somehow. You know, if you win the league, these are games you're going to look back on and say this is where it was won and lost for maybe Manchester City. But big weekend ahead. Hope you're well. We've still got 48 hours until the game, man. This week's just going so slow. But enjoy the Easter weekend. And, you know, we'll be looking forward to that game on Sunday. And we'll be doing a watch along for that one, people. Big up everyone in the chat. Hope you're well. C-Unit Business as always. Happy Friday. Hope you're all blessed. Hope you're well. And, yeah, the sun is shining in England today, man. Can't complain. We don't get a lot of sunshine here. Although it's still not that cold out. It's still not that warm out there. I can't lie. It's still a little bit cold. So, yeah, big up to everyone. C-Unit Business. And I felt, you know, as it was Easter, the rising of Jesus himself, Gabriel Jesus, will be on the green screen today. Let's hope he comes back to life this weekend and gives Arsenal their first win at Anfield in the league for just over 10 years, people. As I said, Arteta was playing for Arsenal the last time that we beat Liverpool at Anfield in the league. It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, meet me at the hotel, Cheese! The sun's out, people, let's go. C-Unit Business, happy Friday. Who would you start, Trossard or Jesus? Jesus has to start. It's not a question of Trossard or Jesus, it's Martinelli or Trossard. Jesus has to start through the middle. Saka has to start on the right. It's who do you play on the left, Francesco? That is the question, and I'll be throwing that one in the chat again, people. We up in here, people. I told you. We're not playing You'll Never Walk Alone. No disrespect, but we're not playing North London Forever this weekend. It's, you know, it's Mob Deep. We're playing Sizzler Kalanji. We're playing hardcore music. We're not messing around this weekend, people. DMX kind of music we're playing. We're not going Anfield to play no games. No, You'll Never Walk Alone business. We're going up there to collect the title, people. That's how we got to move this weekend. You know what I mean? Shook One's business, Mob Deep, QB, Southside, all of that. You know, no messing about. Like Kev says, we got to go up there and punch him in the neck. No messing about. So anyway, people, let me stop waffling. Because I always tend to start with a little waffle settings, people. As we do. Will I do the Man City watch along? I'm not sure. Do you know what it is with games like that? I just don't want to get my hopes up. It's Southampton, but maybe we'll do it if City end up like 3-0 up. Stream's done straight away. You know what I mean? Even if it's 20 minutes. 3-0 up, everything lock off, people. We lock that off. Jesus, what? Show me the way. And yo, Kanye West, big tunes. Anyway, let me not keep singing and all of that, people, because, you know, come to Anfield, leave with a bloody nose, says Marcel. Hey, listen, don't worry, man. We'll see. I'm staying calm about it, you know. I'm staying calm. I think we can go Anfield and clip them on Sunday. But you never know. You never know. Obviously, Rob Holding's there. Anything can happen. Anyway, people, let's get into today's show. It's basically been confirmed. I know I seem to start every show talking about merch. I don't know why, but it's been confirmed by Gunnar Blog, who is pretty insightful when it comes to Arsenal, that this is going to be Arsenal's new home kit for the 2023-24 season. Arsenal are going to wear this kit for their final home game of the season against Wolves at home. We've obviously seen this before. We've seen it a few times. Do you know what? The Arsenal home kit you can't do that much to it, really. I have to admit, this season's home kit is nothing special. I didn't like the collar on it. But at the end of the day, if we win the title in it, then it goes down as one of the best kits that we've ever had. It's as simple as that. If we're the champions of the Premier League, wearing this kit on the last day of the season against Wolves, then it's getting copped. The first day it comes out. Gold Adidas stripes, gold Arsenal badge, and then I put gold Premier League badges on the arm. I might even put an Arsenal player's name on the back of the shirt. Something that I haven't done since, I think I put Alexis Sanchez on the back of the old gold Puma kit that we had. Yeah, I learnt a painful lesson there, and no player's name has gone on since. I might even do the safety thing and put an old Arsenal player on the back of the shirt, because you look real stupid if you put a modern day player on there and they leave. So I might put Henri 14 or Bergkamp 10 on the back. Get that Eddie 14 shirt. Listen, man, I know I'm shameless on this channel, but there's only so far that shame can take me. I'm not sure if that's crossing the line. Maybe if he scores the winning goal to win us the title, then we just shamelessly do it for banter and I'll give that shirt away anyway. I have to admit, I think the shirt's quite nice. The gold Arsenal badge, I'm not sure. Maybe they shouldn't have done it in gold, but for me, it is what it is. If we win the league and we're wearing that last day of the season, that's getting copped, multiple times. It is what it is, people. But yeah, what do you think of the new home kit? If we win the league, I bet Adidas will have some of the new kits at the shop, 100%. They will sell out straight away as well. Did you get bounced from Turkish Chick? Bro, people, I'm back there on Monday. No problem. It's the Easter holidays. Kids are off. I've been busy, all of that stuff. Haven't been able to do it. I think the week before Laurie was on holiday, or 2 weeks before that. I will be back Monday, 5 o'clock. No worries, no panic, people. Good afternoon, Curtis, and good Friday to the C-Unit community. Snake Eye said he likes it. Put Arteta 8 on it. Damn, that is shameless. But maybe, you never know how far the shame will go. Saliba is going to be back. Let's hope so. Anyway, this will be the kit. Maybe Klopp is playing North London forever at their training ground, Maybe the tables have turned, people, and they're scared of us. Listen, this game it's too difficult to call, I've got to be honest. It's one of them where you think, we're top of the league, they're 8th, we should go there and roll them. But obviously we haven't won there in over a decade in the league. What impact is that going to have? For me, Arsenal need to have the attitude and the personality. The chest needs to be out. The shoulders need to be back. We're here because we mean business. Right? That is how we need to be operating until the end of this Premier League season. We have got everything to gain now. Don't go to Liverpool and hold back and be fearful and, oh no, it's Anfield. So what if it's Anfield? We can't go there and play gun-ho. You know that. They're too good to go, just go there and be gun-ho. We know that. But go there and hit them on the counter-attack at pace and damage them. When you get the chance to attack that Liverpool back four, go and attack them and go and hurt them. They are not the same team they have been over the last couple of years. Van Dijk does not look as good as he was. Trent has looked a shadow of the player that he was. We need to go and hurt this Liverpool team. And, that's the situation we're going to be in. Don't throw this opportunity away. We're in an unbelievable position. I believe if out of the Newcastle, Liverpool and Manchester City game, I think 7 points would win us the title. You would hope that the draw, you can afford to draw with Man City, but a win against City would be even better. But if you can beat Liverpool, beat Newcastle, draw with City, we win the title, in my opinion. I know that's a lot easier said than done, but this football club, they need to take this opportunity. It's an unbelievable opportunity. Hunt them down. Go and press them. Go and squeeze them. Show respect, but don't be fearful. That is what I would say. We're top of the league. Liverpool's season, for me, is over if they get beat by us on Sunday. I don't think they can get top 4 if they get beat by us. At the moment, they're 10 points behind Man United in 4th on the same games, 10 points behind Newcastle on the same games. If they get beat by us, 9 games to go, Newcastle or Man U win. Man U will probably beat Everton at home, and Newcastle play Brentford away. 13 points with 9 games to go. With the form they're in, they're not catching them. So there's a lot on this game for Liverpool as well. Because Newcastle and Man United will probably collect. Marcel's saying the season's over, but in reality, you've still got an outside chance. But if you get beat, it's done and dusted. So we'll have to see. Going to be interesting, the team selection. Just a little bit of stuff that came out of Jurgen Klopp's press conference. Luis Diaz has been back in full training for a little while, but he will not be in the squad for this game against Arsenal. He said he will save him for the following game, as he's not fully match fit yet, although Van Dijk and Thiago are back for Liverpool. So they're going to be at pretty much full strength, apart from Luis Diaz. It will be interesting whether they play Joe Gomez or Trent at right back. So, listen, it's one of them. It's one of them games. It could be a potential. It's one of the title deciders, in my opinion, for Arsenal. Anyway, couple of other things to talk about before we concentrate a little bit more on that Liverpool game. As I said, no Luis Diaz, but pretty much everybody else is available. Let's start with a bit of transfer news. John Z said Liverpool lost 9, drawn 7 compared to our 3 draws. It's going to be a long day at the office for us. It will. No doubt. It's still going to be a difficult game. Dennis said, as a Liverpool fan, I hope we don't put that big of a fight up. If we had beaten City, I would hope otherwise. Jamino said, I wouldn't start Zinchenko. We need Tierney for defensive stability. We can't have Zinni drifting into midfield. All it takes is one through ball to Salah and he's unmarked. A few people have messaged me this and we spoke about it yesterday and I understand it. It does make a lot of sense, but I'm almost 99.9% certain that Arteta will not do that. I think when you look at big clubs who've won titles over the years, one of their main features is that we play to our strengths. Him putting Tierney in there would be an indication that, okay, we're worried about Salah. Where I think he will say, let's play Zinchenko and let's dominate the midfield, even though it potentially allows us to get hit on the break by Salah. Now, apparently Salah is fit, Nimbo, despite the fact he didn't train yesterday. He was probably rested because they had a midweek game. Also, can you just bring Tierney out of the cold and throw him in at Anfield? Although he does deal with cold weather pretty well, and he did play well for Scotland. I understand, but he'll play Zinchenko. I'm almost certain of it. Gabriel and Xhaka will have Salah on an island with no trees, no food, and no goals. Let's hope so. Survive that first 20-minute wave and try stay in the game. You will have a chance. If not, it's peak. It's true. I said it yesterday, Marcel. Anfield will be absolutely booming, right? They've had a tough week. They know they're in a difficult period. They'll sing You'll Never Walk Alone. They'll make noise. They'll press from the front. They'll have a go. They'll try and score early. If we see off that first 20 minutes and it's 0-0 and we grow into the game, they will revert to type because they've had a bad week. They've drawn at Chelsea 0-0 and didn't play very well. They got slapped up at City. If they get another negative result now, all of a sudden, season's done. And you've got to play the last 9-8 games with nothing to play for. It's a very difficult position to be in as a player when you're playing for nothing. So a lot's riding on it for them as well, I've got to be honest. Chelsea should have slapped them. Yep, they missed clear-cut chances. Are you fit, brothers? A legendary line. Let us know, Emil Smith-Rowe, man. Are you fit? Anyway, a little bit of transfer news. Only one story today that I'm going to talk about in terms of transfers. And that is Joao Cancelo. We've spoken about him a couple times on the show. Because at the moment, it looks as if Bayern Munich are not going to pay the agreed price what they negotiated at the start of the loan. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it is unlikely that Joao Cancelo signs for Bayern Munich this summer due to financial implications. Of course, they've just brought in Thomas Tuchel. The fact he's 28 years of age, they're unsure whether they want to pay £52 million, the 60 million euros that Manchester City want for the player, unless they can negotiate much cheaper. In fact, he goes on to say that Bayern Munich are looking to reduce their wage bill this summer, and that Cancelo is unlikely to sign. And he has said that Arsenal are interested in signing Joao Cancelo this summer. Now, I want to ask you two things about Joao Cancelo. Number one, do you think Pep Guardiola would sell us another high-quality player? Because let's be honest, and I know Man City fans, and I know Pep says, selling Zinchenko and Jesus, all that, he plays it down. But if we win the title this season, I think a Man City fan would have to look at Pep Guardiola and say, you made a mistake. You sold them two players that were instrumental in Arsenal going on and winning the title. So if we win the league, he would look pretty stupid. I don't care what anyone says. I think he sold those two to us because he thought Arsenal just finished fifth. Arteta's there, he's my mate. They're no threat to us. If we give them two, maybe they'll get top four. Who cares about that? He did not expect us to be winning the title. So I wonder now if he would be willing to sell us such a high quality player. That is the problem. Joao Cancelo, for me, would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. I know he's 28 years of age, and I know Ben White has had a fantastic season this year. But you're talking about, in my opinion, an elite fullback. Unbelievable on the ball. Him and Saka on that right-hand side. And that's not me dismissing Ben White. Because Ben White may still hold down that position. He may end up playing at centre-back. Who knows? That's the level of competition that we need going into the Champions League. If Pep was willing to sell him to Arsenal, because he did sell Sterling to Chelsea, and you would have expected Chelsea to have been a title threat considering how much money they spent, I personally would take Joao Cancelo. So let's get the first poll up of the day. Would you take Joao Cancelo for 50 million? He is 28. He is on big wages, but he's top quality. For me, I would take him. I think right back is one of the probably 2 or 3 positions that we do need to address this summer. Would you sign Cancelo for £50 million? Listen, it's a lot of money for a right back, but I would do it. I think that's the level that we need. As I said, the bigger question is, would Pep sell him? If Pep won the league, maybe he'd do it. If he didn't, then maybe not. Jaded Henry said, yes, please. 50 million's a bit steep, says J Dime. I'd take him, but Man City won't sell him to us. I would say Ben White is good for us. I think the problem more is Tomiyasu. It's not Ben White. Ben White's absolute quality at the moment. The issue is Tomiyasu is injury prone. And, you know, you look at us now, we've only got one right back at the club. So imagine having Ben White and Cancelo as your 2 right backs. Zinchenko and Tierney as your 2 left backs. That is the kind of level that you want at the football club. Then you've got Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White can play centre-back. You've got Kivior. They're the levels that you need, people. Cancelo and Saka on the right would be pretty special, I think. PK said I would take him. We need to compete again next season. We need quality starters. Khalid said we need Champions League quality players this summer. Couple of super chats. Big up George G. Thank you very much for the super chat, bro. Hope we've learned our lesson from Everton away last season. Once again on Marathon, we are approaching somewhere on the floor. Don't give them a hand to get up, step on their neck and flip and move on. No mercy this summer. We are playing against this Sunday, sorry. We are playing against a wounded animal this Sunday. There's no doubt about that. Is it the wounded animal that you prod and it bites you? Or do you finish the job off? We need to finish the job off this weekend. It's a dog-eat-dog world, people. No time to feel sorry for Liverpool. I don't care how big their atmosphere is. That is a struggling Liverpool team. Will it be hard? 100% it'll be a difficult game. We need to show our quality. If we're about that life, show it on Sunday. Big up George with a super chat. Big up Jamie with a super chat. No chance they sell to us even if we offer double. Jamie thinks they'll stop now from selling players to us. I think Pep may have to look elsewhere. It's just a case of if people have got money. Pep's got a very, his ego's very big. He's had a big fallout. There are rumours that Cancelo squared up to Pep on the training ground. There's no way he's going to let Cancelo come back to Manchester City. Not a lot of clubs with money on the hip, So if we turn up with the dough, they might accept it. But it would be difficult, I think. Cancelo, please, Pep. Oh, mate, I would love to get Cancelo at Arsenal, honestly. People asking what his wages are. Let me just find out. I did read that he was on big wages, but let me give you exact figures because he must be on big wages. Joao Cancelo is on a weekly wage of... How much is he on? Let's have a look on Sport Rack. They're usually the most accurate. Joao Cancelo earns a weekly wage of this. Wow. This says Cancelo's on £200,000 a week, which is unbelievable. Yeah, he's on 200 grand a week, Cancelo. So again, that makes the deal even more difficult. 50 million, 200 grand for a right back that's not guaranteed to play every week. So yeah, it's big money. But listen, when you go in the Champions League, you look at Sancho. Sancho's on 350 grand a week. sits on the bench a lot of the time for Man United. You're going in the Champions League, it gets serious. Would he be willing to take 175? Maybe. Maybe you give him a big signing on fee. There are ways around it. But anyway, I'm not gonna. Would you take a guy who's squared up to Pep? Listen, he's a bold fraud, mate. As long as he don't square up to Arteta, I've got no problem. I've got no problem. But listen, I don't think it will happen. But I'd take him. Shane said Gundogan, Cancelo, Felix, Caicedo, and ESR in the 8. I mean, Gundogan's out of contract this summer. But he is 33 years of age. But he is quality. He's being linked with Barcelona. Big up Shane with the super chat as well. Not too much transfer news today, to be honest. Jamie said, leave Cancelo alone. I don't want him at all unless we get rid of Zinni. Can't have two weak, poor defensive fullbacks. It's a good point. Are any of them good enough defensively? Big up my brother, Kevin Campbell in the chat. Hope you're well, brother. Yes, Big C, happy Easter to you and the crew. Big up, Kev, locked in. Let us know if you're on TV or any appearances over the weekend. I know there's a lot of big games. I think have Everton got Man United? And obviously Arsenal against Liverpool. So big up, Kev, in the chat, locked in. What happened to Man City financial fair play rumours? Listen, it's been delayed. There's over 100 things being investigated. You get lawyers on it. That gets pushed back 6 months. It gets pushed back to another year. They probably won't receive any punishment for that for a couple of years. So Pep will probably be long gone by the time they receive any punishment for that one, you know. Sign him. It will show our intentions for next season. It's going to be interesting if Arsenal change their philosophy slightly this season. Whether we win the Premier League or not. We're back in the Champions League next season. Somewhere we haven't been for 6 seasons. Are Arsenal going to start signing superstars? I know a lot of the time people say, listen, Arsenal don't generally sign superstars. We create them. But we have seen over the years that, you know, Alexis Sanchez was a huge player. Aubameyang was a big player. Ozil was. Are we going to have to edit that slightly and start signing some bigger players? Or can we compete to sign them big players? I think Francesca said it earlier. We want to see the Kroenkes flex. You know, you got to spend 200 million in a transfer window. I know big signings don't always guarantee you success. When you look at, you know, players like Harry Maguire and Romelu Lukaku, Pogba wasn't a huge success. But I think at times there's also a flip side where you look at some big players and you say, generally when you're signing big players, you're signing ready-made, top quality players. Marcus said, I want to sign Vlahovic for next season. I definitely think we need a plan B when it comes to striker. South London's finest, we will need to, especially in the midfield. For me, I think you've said it a few times, we need 2 midfielders this summer. We need an attacking midfielder and a defensive midfielder. The engine room is everything. And I think Xhaka and Partey have been superb this year. But then beyond that, you know, Jorginho, El Neni, who's got a long-term injury, there's not a lot else there, really. Lokonga coming back from loan, who I personally would get rid of. So I think we're going to need to spend. We need some more energy in there, some younger, pacier midfielders, whether that's Caicedo, Declan Rice, whoever. George said, I want big-name world-class signings this summer. I think we deserve at least one world-class player that lifts the level of the football club, you know. We need that energy and mobility in midfield, said Sakayo. Ricky said, got a feeling a few free transfers will come in. If Rice and Caicedo are in, Arsenal targets Tielemans might still be on the radar. We spoke about Tielemans yesterday, Arsenal being linked. I think the excitement levels are much lower with Tielemans. But as I said, I don't necessarily think Arsenal will buy 2 expensive centre midfielders because they're going to give El Neni a new deal. They've just signed Jorginho. They're talking about Xhaka a new deal, and Partey is there. So that's 4. If you sign 2 more, you're talking about 6 centre mids on decent wages. So it wouldn't surprise me if they signed a Declan Rice for 70 million and got a Tielemans on a free just to offset the amount of money they're spending, you know. Tielemans, I think Arsenal fans wouldn't be very excited by him now, but you know, was we excited when we signed Jorginho? No. So I think we always have to have that. And it's a surprising comment coming from me because I've been very much against the manager at times in the past. I'm very much in support of him now, though, of course. I look at Granit Xhaka and where Granit Xhaka was. I saw no way back for that guy at Arsenal. He was totally and utterly finished. We now consider him a vital player in this Arsenal team due to the way the manager has managed him. So I think even though Tielemans is at a position now where we kind of look at him and go, I don't want Tielemans, man. He looks a bit washed. We've also got to remember he's in his mid-20s. He's in a poor Leicester team that are fighting relegation. And would he be a better player in a better team? You know, so I get it. I wouldn't want Yuri Tielemans. But I would, if we signed him, I would still think, okay, can Arteta get something out of him? Because he's 25. He has got ability on the ball, that's for sure. He's just very slow. That's the one thing I don't like. Tamina says, James Maddison. Yeah, Maddison's being linked with a few clubs, not Arsenal, though. I'm not sure if we've got space for him. Maybe Arteta can do Xhaka 2.0. Nah. Listen, he's good. He's not quite a magician. We don't want Harry Maguire unless we've got a fridge that we need fixing. Let Harry Maguire go elsewhere, man. Anthony said we should look at Bastoni. Left centre-back can also play left-back. Very good play. I think Inter would want decent money for him. Haroon said no to Yuri Tielemans. I understand that. Tielemans has no engine. Yeah, he's like a pedal bike, bruv. No engine whatsoever. Anyway, it's lunchtime, people. Well, it's a bit later than lunchtime, actually. It's probably early dinner time. That means one thing. Cone Man music. The Cone Man himself is back. Waffle settings back in full effect. The last one, last weekend, prior to the... Who did we play in the last game? Was it Leeds? The game was that long ago, I can't even remember. It was an absolute shambolic press conference. I will not put you through the same pain of last week. We will skip if the waffling gets too heavy, people. Get the syrup ready. The waffles are cooked. Cone Man music business. Let's feast, people. That cheeky smile. Now, I'm zooming in on this. I'm hoping that is the face of a man that has just been told by the club doctor that William Saliba will be fit for Sunday. It's that look that Arsene Wenger did in that interview when he knew that we'd signed Mesut Ozil and he didn't want to announce it. Just please tell me that is the cheeky smile of a manager that knows that that Saliba is available for Sunday's game. If not, then he's just fronting. You know, that was a big tune, by the way. I was just fronting. Who's that? Pharrell, wasn't it? Pharrell back in the day. Big Pharrell. Jay-Z. That just clicked into my head. I used to love that tune back in the day. But anyway, let me not start singing them Pharrell hooks because he's got them high notes. I don't know if we can go that high. Gunnar Roller said, no Tielemans. We're eating prime steak now, Big C. Dream scenario. Jude goes to Real Madrid. We throw the bag out for Camavinga. Listen, Camavinga for me is just, I've said it many times, I think he's unbelievable. I really do. He reminds me of Edgar Davids. What a player. E. Ross said his eyebrows are breathtaking. I mean, he must be going somewhere and getting them done because they are. They're top quality. His hair, there's not a hair out of place. He's had a shave. The eyebrows are thick. He's living good, man. This is what happens when you're top of the league. You know what I mean? Man's not receding or anything. Everything's going good for the Cone Man right now. Big tune. I might listen to that tune afterwards, by the way. Jay-Z and the Neptunes are a deadly combo. Big tune. Every time my name was on, you would act all nonchalant in front of an audience. Yo, don't let me get started. They don't make tunes like they used to. Anyway, let's get into the Cone Man. Waffle settings, people. Waffle settings. Is he leading us to the title? Let's hear what they had to say on whether he can enjoy the running. He said, we enjoy it. We have to enjoy it. We really need to embrace the moment and go for it. The team is full of enthusiasm and positivity. I see a big opportunity to go to Anfield and do something we haven't done for many years. That is what is driving the team in the last few days. And like I said, the last time we beat them in the league, he was playing for Arsenal, which is absolutely crazy. But you've got to think, right? If you're in that Arsenal team right now, big up Broads in the chat, my brother. If you're Saka, if you're Martinelli, if I'm Saka right now, I'm thinking, not only am I on the verge of potentially winning a title, you put yourself in the Arsenal history books. If we win the title and Saka wins Young Player of the Season, all of a sudden you're talking about an Arsenal legend in his early 20s. Like, it's that simple. We haven't won a title for 18 years. We're gonna put you in the highest of ratings if you win this title and you're a legend. So these players have the opportunity of a life. They can change their careers in these next 9 games. If you're negotiating a new contract, all of a sudden, you was asking for 150 if you're Saliba. You're going, well, hang on a minute, we've just won the title. I want 220 grand a week. I'm the best defender. Things can change very, very quickly if we win this title. It really can. So they have to embrace the opportunity with the likes of Perez real quick. Real quick. Did I skip a bit there? No, I didn't skip a bit. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. He said, on team news and Saliba, there are no real changes with the rest of the players who were still injured. We have some hope with one of them tomorrow. Maybe he's able to train. There are no real changes with the rest of the players who were still injured. We have some hope with one of them tomorrow. Maybe he's still able to train. I mean, what do you read into that, people? I'm trying to read what he's saying. I mean, please. I'm thinking now, right? The other player that was injured was Nketiah. Now, Mikel, let me tell you something. Don't put that smile on your face. Don't start playing with our emotions because Eddie Nketiah might be training tomorrow. No disrespect, Eddie. We ain't going to be excited if Eddie Nketiah's back at Anfield sitting on the bench. That smile needs to be because William Saliba's playing centre-back. Don't you dare smile for Eddie. Don't you dare. Hey, I got to go big screen. Don't you dare smile for Eddie. If you're smiling like that, it better be for Saliba. We know that Eddie is like your stepson, the child you never had. But don't you dare smile like that. We ain't got time for that. We're emotional right now. We're trying to hang on to this title. So don't tell me you're tricking us. Don't play games. Quit playing games with my heart. Quit playing games with my heart. Yo, old school pop tunes, them radio tunes. Babatunde, Saka was free when we last won the league, bro. Think about that. The brother was little Pickney in nappies. Do you know what I mean? 3 years old. Now, look, you can be a hero. But hey, it is what it is. Big C is mocking it. Bro, I'm telling you, you can't smile like that for Eddie. You smile like that, Saliba better be fit. Somebody sent me the clip of him in the press conference saying that he was just mad smiling and stuff like that. I'm going to try and have a look. Obviously, I can't play it, unfortunately, but I'm just going to try and maybe... Let's have a look. Arteta on the injured players, right. I'm going to... Get it. Oh, let me mute that. I can't play it. We have some hope with players. Oh, come on, Mikel. Come on, Mikel. Mikel! No. I've got to come off this screen. The smile. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Is that Backstreet Boys, by the way? Big tune. Yo, these don't know about pop music nowadays, man. It was wavy back in the day. Look at this smile. Oh my God. Look at this smile. Hold on, I can't play it. He's saying we have some hope with one of them tomorrow. Maybe he's able to train. Let me just move it a lot. Uh-oh. Here we go. Ready for the smile. It's getting bigger. The teeth come out. Get the teeth out. Here they come. Oh, he's put them away again. Where's... Look at that smile. You cannot smile like that for Eddie Nketiah. I'm sorry. You just don't smile like that for Eddie. It's not April Fool's Day. Don't gas me, Mikel. That smile, look at the teeth. He's got his choppers out. That has to be Saliba. It has to be. You can't do this to me, Mikel. Don't do that. And then on Sunday, Rob Holding's starting. And Eddie Nketiah's back on the bench. Please, don't. It's Anfield. It's emotional. We haven't won there for over 10 years. Klopp's going to be out with them, that lockjaw, that mad jaw that Jurgen Klopp. Klopp's always like, Klopp kind of goes mad like that, don't he? Like the bottom jaw's always going mad. That smile, man, it's got to be Saliba. Has to be, please. It can't be Eddie. I genuinely think when Arteta played for Arsenal back in the day, you know, North London, very multicultural. Maybe he met himself a nice girl one night, you know, and maybe he made Eddie. Maybe Eddie's the son that he keeps quiet, man. 'Cause boy, he loves Eddie too much. But please, it's got to be Saliba. Has to be Saliba. The smile's too much. People saying it was NSYNC, not Backstreet Boys. It was one of them anyway. One thing's for sure, the pop music was banging back in the day. Them radio tunes. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get through the waffle. I'm waffling. On the corresponding fixture last season in the preparation time. For us, it's something normal. We prepare for every game in a different way. We prepare the concepts. This scenario that we're going to play for. That day last season, we decided to train till you never walk alone. Don't ever do that again, Mikel. Don't ever do that again. I think we know for sure that didn't work. Kev's saying it's a plastic smile. Kevin! Don't do it to us, Kev. Kev, it's Home Alone settings, man. We're on the plane. Everyone's there. We just realised we left McAllister at home. Kevin! Give us the inside scoop, Kev. It's Saliba playing. It's Anfield. We need to be at full strength. Ah, dear. On it getting feisty last season on the touchline, he said that happens in football. After that, we hugged each other and moved on. Jurgen knows I have full respect and admiration for what him and the coaching staff have done at Liverpool. We have moved on. Keep your enemies closer, man. Keep your enemies closer. You know what I mean? Home Alone settings, Kev. Home Alone settings. You know how it goes. And whether he would approach it differently next time. Listen, if you got a beef clop. We don't care. There's no friends. He said, I don't know. I'd have to be in the situation again. The way I reacted that day was to defend our players in the best possible way. That's it. I don't like seeing myself like that. Listen, do whatever's necessary, man. Grab him by that jaw. On whether he has used his own experience winning there as a player, he said, we've been to the ground where we haven't won in 17, 18 and 22 years. And we have managed to do that. So we're capable of winning at Anfield. We know that we're going to have to be at our best. Let's skip it. On his memories of winning, he said, great, because before that win, it had been many years. We did it once more. I think it was the year before when Van Persie scored in the 95th minute. Oh, what a goal was that. The Alex Song chips it over the top. Van Persie's side foot volley near post past Pepe Reina. Damn, they were good times, man. I remember that. We used to roll. You know what? I remember back in the day, we used to roll Liverpool at Anfield. Don't get me wrong. There was times where we got beat. But I remember Podolski banging a goal there. That Van Persie volley. We all remember the Robert Pires where he bends it in the corner. Remember Thierry Henry literally running off the pitch, running around the linesman against Carragher. We used to go and deal with Liverpool, man. Come on, man. Just roll back the years. It's a new Arsenal. Don't let all that history affect you, man. Just, you know, we can go there and beat them. We beat them earlier in the season. Let's go and cook, man. It's a barbecue. Barbecue at Anfield on Sunday, people. Easter weekend. Get the family together and have a barbecue, man. Could never hate RVP, man, ever. It's funny, innit, bros? You know, sometimes a player leaves Arsenal and goes to a rival club and you just can't stand them. You find it unforgivable. But there's certain players, they were so good when they played for you that you can kind of just... It's painful. It's like a painful breakup when you were younger and, you know, you can't hate them because of the memories. Van Persie was just... He was just elite at Arsenal. The left foot was just phenomenal. It was like a shotgun. You know, yeah, the volley against Charlton, the curler against Tottenham. It's just, oh, what a player, man. Yeah, going to Man U and winning the league made it horrendous. It made it horrendous. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I can't hate Cesc Fabregas. I say it time and time again. I can't hate him. I can't be mad at a player going back to his hometown club who are the best team in the world. I have to blame Arsene Wenger for not taking the buyback clause, you know? So, yeah, there's been some painful ones. RVP, that was up there as the most painful Arsenal player to leave, probably in history. I've got to be honest, in history of being an Arsenal fan for me. When Thierry left, he was nearly 30. He was wearing Reebok football boots. I could get my head around it. I got to be honest, once Thierry came out of them vapours and wore them bulky Reeboks, he was never the same for me. He went from 95 pace to 84. I understood. I could get my head around Thierry leaving. Alexis, he was so bad at United that I got my head around that one as well. Even though that one hurt. But Van Persie, he was at his very best. And he went United and cleaned up, won the Golden Boot, won the title, and got the Guard of Honour. You know, that one was the ultimate pain feeling. Trust me, man, Henry in the Reeboks, it was done. He wasn't the same guy anymore, man. No disrespect. Them bulky big Reeboks that Giggs had been wearing for 10 years, nah. He was done, man. He was done. It's like Neymar, man. He left Nike for Puma. He'll never be the same player. Certain players, you got to go with a wave. It don't matter if the other company gives you more money. Neymar has to wear Nike boots. It's a fact. That's how it goes, people. We know how it goes. Beckham had to wear them Predators with the big stripe when he whipped the free kick and rolled the ankle. He had to wear the Preds. Henry had to wear them Vapors with the socks up. It was the look. Anyway, I'm going way off. Let me get back to the waffle, people. On how surprised he is with Liverpool's season, I have more admiration because it shows the difficulty of being at the top, transforming a club, their identity and beliefs. Yeah, he's giving them compliments on what he took from this 7-0 win of Man United. They've played games when you look from a broad perspective at those in the league. They are the best. There are things costing them points. So he's making excuses for them, trying to sweeten them up. I get it. He's trying to make... Him and Klopp will probably be hugging each other this time. Jamie said, Curtis, the Vapors were mashing up my feet. I brought the Neymar Puma Future Zeds. No lie, they're the best boots I've ever worn. Followed by the Vapors. Fair enough. They may be comfy, but you know there's a certain look with certain players. Zidane in the Gold Predators. It was game over. It was over before the game started. You saw Zidane wearing Gold Predators. Forget it. I always used to say his bold patch was like a magic swirl on the back of his head, Zidane. The magic bold patch and the Gold Predators, don't even bother with it. You ain't getting nowhere near it, you know. Khalid said, waxing lyrical to soften them up. See, he's gone there with the, you know, the all-out, let's have a war approach. Now he's putting his arm around Klopp. Oh, you're such a good team. I understand why you're having such a bad season. You know, he's trying to be friends. I get it. I respect it. All's fair in love and war. On Trossard scoring a hat-trick there this season, he said it's a great player. It's great to have a player that has experience of something really nice and positive from that stadium. He was a crucial player on that day. It was a beautiful game to watch. And that's what we need. Players with a lot of belief on that pitch that can go there and win it. Is that a slight indication that he's going to play Trossard at Anfield? It'll be interesting. On why it's so hard to play at Anfield, he said they're a great team managed by a top manager. They create an incredible atmosphere, sweetening them up even more. On what has changed for Granit Xhaka this season in front of goal, he said click mentality. Feeling capable of doing it and understanding the way he needs to be positioned in the right moments, training and being in every single day, willing to improve and support the team, in our opinion, was very necessary on taking the step forward. Listen, you got to give Arteta huge credit for that, like I said, because I thought Xhaka was finished. Bleck said, Arsene did us with Fabregas. I'm fuming. Ego and pride got in his way. He was hurt by the way he'd gone back to Barcelona. He refused to take the buyback clause. You know, cutting off your nose to spite your face. Put your feelings aside. Understand that he went to play for the best team in the world and Pep Guardiola and his hometown club. Take the buyback clause and bring him back. You know, you say no, he goes to Chelsea and wins the title. Stupid. And as much as I love Arsene Wenger and I think he deserves the statue, he made some horrendous decisions in that last 5-6 years. And that was one of them. Highbury local badger said, I want Arsenal to buy back Emi Martinez. He's a Champions League level. He's already world class. I don't think him and Arteta really get on. I think he was hurt by the way that he had to leave, man. I just don't think he would do it. And he said, I can't lie, I put RVP in our top 5 players during the Emirates, even though he is technically only had one great season. Cesc, Sanchez, RVP, Ozil and Santi Cazorla. I would argue... I think we had that debate before. I see. Did Ozil do more than Aubameyang at Arsenal at the Emirates? And Santi even as well. To be honest, he was an unbelievable player. But did he do it for long enough for Arsenal? He was injured towards the end. Certainly in terms of ability, though, they're an unbelievable group of players you've named. Gunnarola said, nah, Thierry leaving had been mashed up. It was like a funeral in my yard. I sat in the dark listening to Mary J. RVP was due. Listen, when you're listening to Mary J, it's seriously painful. It's seriously painful. Make sure you mash up the likes, people. 2,000 of you in the chat. Big up everyone tuned in on Twitch as well. Make sure you follow the TikTok account. We'll have a new TikTok video up there today as well, people. Let's move on. I'm waffling more than Arteta today. On Ben White, he said, I'm extremely happy with him again. He's been really consistent. He has adapted to the position, the way that we flow and the way that we play. He will have other opportunities with England in the future. On the under-18s reaching the FA Youth Cup final, and the women's team in the Champions League semi-final. Big up to those two teams. Said it's great for the club. That's what we want, being on the front foot in every competition. On Saka being over his illness, he said, yep, he is. Apparently he's trained all week. He's been in all the training pictures. On whether Klopp is an inspiration. I mean, can he sweeten Klopp up anymore, by the way? He's working him, isn't he? For sure, and coming from abroad the way he did, what he installed, the key identity, yeah, we'll move on from the Klopp love fest. On if winning there will prove Arsenal have improved, he said, yeah, that's what we have to prove on Sunday. Go there and perform emotionally and tactically. On whether he prefers playing after Manchester City, he said, that helps, but it doesn't matter. Honestly, we have to focus on what we're doing. There are still a lot of games to play. It's going to be a long race. Obviously, Man City play away against Southampton tomorrow night. You would expect them to beat Southampton. Southampton, bottom of the league. I suppose the only positive that we can take is that Southampton beat Man City in the Carabao Cup quarter-final at Southampton's ground. But we know that Haaland is back in training now. Snake Eye said, information and entertainment. Are you not entertained? Yo, people. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday, man. Hope you're all well. Big up everyone tuned in. Big up African Giant. You lot over here chatting about RVP. And when he should have left, I should be getting therapy about my club changing managers like nappies. Ross. Hey, bro. If you had a YouTube channel, I'd be trolling you right now. Frank. You man bought back Frank. 500 million spent. You'd have been better off bringing back Frank Lucas out of American Gangster, Denzel Washington. You man spent 500 million and brought back Frank. It's all mad, bro. African Giant. Yo, Frank. It's all mad. Imagine if he wins you, man, the Champions League, though. I'll have to quietly just, hold it down. But I don't see it happening, man. Talk to Frank. Nah. You lot, I told you, Todd Bowley's playing Football Manager. You know where you play Football Manager and you use the cheat code where you get like unlimited funds to spend? Todd is out here playing Football Manager, fam. He's not serious. Man had the assistant manager in charge, then brought Frank back. I swear Frank was at the game. He probably just seen him in the players' lounge and said, oh yeah, Frank, you want the job? To the end and said, yeah, I'll take it, bro. How much? Yeah, a couple mil. Yo, man, it's all mad. Talk to Frank. Kev said we got to thump them in the mouth and win. We got to go there and move correctly, man, if we want to win this game. And whether we can use what happened last season as motivation, there are similarities. Obviously, the context is different. The team and the players on the pitch are going to be very different. On how difficult it is to leave one of his forwards out this weekend, he said, it depends on the moment, on what we want to do and the quality we are seeking. The relationships we want on certain days. Obviously, you have 5 changes, so you have the ability to change the game, which is great for us. It's much better to have that problem because at the moment they are all looking good. I tell you something, that team selection on Sunday, wow. And listen, I'm delighted that we've got that problem. Like he said, think about them times where we're like, oh my God, all we've got is Lacazette, and Lacazette don't even get in the area, or, or maybe Eddie by himself. Who do you play in that front three? As I said, for me, Saka will obviously start on the right. I think Gabby Jesus has to start through the middle. He's our top striker. He's just scored 2 goals. We signed him for this reason. And who do you play on the left? Do you play Trossard, the guy who scored a hat-trick at Anfield earlier in the season for Brighton? So his confidence levels are sky high there. He's just won Arsenal Player of the Month. He probably keeps possession a little bit better than Martinelli. Or do you go for Martinelli, who has ripped apart Trent the last 2 or 3 times he's played him, scored 6 goals in his last 7 games, and he's probably a bit more direct. Maybe doesn't keep possession quite as well. That is an unbelievably difficult decision to make. He could trick us all and play Trossard through the middle and play Martinelli on the left and leave Gabby on the bench. But for me, we signed Gabby for this reason, to get us over the finish line. He's a title winner. He's the main man. He's the leader of that attack, in my opinion. The Gunner said, I'm a Jamaican Gooner. Just wondering if Curtis sees any of these messages, because from the region we can't super chat. Yeah, man, I see the messages, bro. Big up to you. Obviously, over 2,000 people in here. I try and read as many as I can. I do read them, even if I don't click on all of them, you know. Glenn said, RVP was my first heartbreak. Wenger, shaking my head. Bro, I'm telling you, Van Persie was like, ouch. Real pain. Real pain. South London's fine. He said, I'm starting Martinelli. Burn Trent for 75 minutes, then bring on Trossard. Kai said Trossard on the left. Trossard v Gomez. Because, listen, Gomez started against Chelsea. Will he start Gomez at right back instead of Trent? I think he probably will. Rooney with the total 90s. That was another boot he made iconic. Big up Jamaican Gooner. Jamaica in the building. They've said Big C with Trossard. I would love to see a stat on how many players have played against the team twice at their home ground in the same season. Good point. Morris said, I'm worried about the ref. Let's just handle the game and then we don't have to worry. Anyway, let me stop waffling. I can't stop waffling today, people. On whether he will have a conversation with whoever he leaves out. I mean, obviously he's going to. Normally with players that are very much in contention, we tell them to understand why we did it. Or why we made the decision. It's clarity, and when there is clarity, I think the emotional state of the player is much better. Obviously, he's going to tell the player. On whether something clicked the day Arsenal beat Liverpool this season, says it was a big day, a big result. On whether we have got over playing with fear against Liverpool, he said, first of all, it's a different group. We are coming from a different position, and what I see is enthusiasm and positivity. On whether a win on Sunday will move the club to stage 4 of 5. He said, one result doesn't get you there, unfortunately. We wish, because then we could have been through many different phases. On whether his altercation with Klopp riled up the home crowd, he said, but after that, we had the best chance of the game. Oh, we're at the end. On whether everybody has to keep their cool on Sunday, he said, yes, they know that. They've experienced that. They're aware of it. We know what we have to do. We've had tough experiences. We went to White Hart Lane and did what the team did, and the atmosphere doesn't get much harder than that, people. That is the end of the waffle. I think I waffled more than Arteta there. Apologies. Kev said Jesus has to lead us to the Premier League promised land. Totally agree. I think him and Zinchenko, as much as their ability, it's their mentality, and they've been here. You can't buy experience and leadership and understanding of how to get over a finish line. How many times have you seen teams flying and they fall at the end, you know, because they don't know how to get over it? And this is why I keep saying, listen, we're in the driving seat, but we've still got many big hurdles to overcome. And I think having players like Jesus, having players like Zinchenko that have won titles, you've got to have them guys on the pitch. Jesus just won man of the match, scored 2 goals. And, you know, he will be desperate to put in a big performance against Liverpool. Make sure you smash the likes. Let's get at least 1,000 likes on the video. Subscribe. Road to 100k. Join the C-Unit community. Link is in the description if you want to become a member, and follow on the TikTok Curtis Shaw TV, people. Martinelli can come on at half-time with his pace against tired legs. Have I still got that? Let me end that poll. I actually forgot that poll was still running. Would you sign Cancelo this summer for 50 million? 72% said yes. 28% said no. I know I've asked this question so many times, but I'm going to ask it one last time, because I honestly can't make up my mind, right? I honestly have changed my mind about 3 times this week. Who would you start left wing against Liverpool? Martinelli or Trossard? It's such a hard decision. Martinelli or Trossard. One of them scored a hat-trick there this season, and the other one has cooked Trent about 3 times in a row. Who do you go for? Do you go for the quicker player that is probably more devastating on the counter-attack, but maybe loses the ball a bit more? or do you go for Trossard? Like I said, he could throw a curveball and play Trossard, but through the middle. But I think Jesus starts. Trossard could start over Jesus. Trossard, I'm edging. Champa said Trossard 100%. Klopp won't play Trent. Eros said Martinelli. Malou said Martinelli, but too harsh on Trossard. I change my mind every day. He could literally flip a coin. Whoever he picked, I would have no problem with it. You just play different depending on who's playing. LSU Gunner said Trossard, then Martinelli on in the 75th. He'll come on late to score a brace. Gabby will be collecting dreadlocks. Listen, I think Trent will be on the bench. Got to be honest, I thought Gomez looked solid against Chelsea. And I think he'll get the nod at right back. I think Trent will be on the bench. He's been awful. And listen, Klopp's not stupid. He knows that Martinelli has genuinely cooked Trent the last 2 or 3 times that he's played against him. So I think Gomez will be at right back. It doesn't matter who starts, you're winning, says Dennis, and he's a Liverpool fan. Bossy, Trossy, and bring on Martinelli 60 to 70. Martinelli helps defensively. Liverpool are afraid of Martinelli. That's a good point as well. We've heard Klopp speak about him a number of times. Before we round up, just quickly finish with the best way to finish every stream. As you know, people, let's have a look at that beautiful Premier League table. I refuse to not end the stream without looking at that table while things are going so well, people. I remember dark days being 15th in this table and accepting cookies to find Arsenal. So I will end streams looking at the table. African Giant said, Reece left wing, Vieira right wing, Jorginho CDM, 3 points easy. You'd love that, wouldn't you? It's interesting. Somebody said in the chat that Grizz wants Man City to win the league. I'm very surprised at that because I thought Liverpool really had grown a bit of a rivalry with Man City and sort of wanted them to fall off their perch a little bit, which is interesting. I know some Liverpool fans have sort of said, oh, we can't take how much Arsenal fans will go on about it if they win the title. You know, in Man City, you'll be lucky if you know more than 2 Man City fans. Snake Eye said, I don't care who plays, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk. The Reds are losing. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Torb said, I've dropped you an email. I've just seen it, bro. I am going to get back to you. Definitely want to speak to you about doing some editing. Anyway, let's finish off by looking at the table. How do you feel this game is going to go? I'm going to do a preview tomorrow, go a little bit more in detail. But on paper, we should win the game. However, we know there isn't a football match in the world that is won on paper. Not unless that paper is about £1 million in brown envelopes. Then you might win a game on paper. 29 points clear of Liverpool. We should be winning, but football works in funny ways, don't it? It's Anfield. They're going to be booming. They're going to be desperate for a response. But, how do you see the game going? Why was me said I'm making shorts for you on the TikTok and YouTube as well. Hey, send them to me or message me if you want to do some work. Let me know. George G said, Big C, that combination between Bossard and Jesus for Gabby's second goal against Leeds was fire. I want to see more of it. But listen, Liverpool haven't won in their last 3 games. 1 defeat and 1 draw and 2 defeats in their last 3. 2 wins out of 5. They're out of form. Obviously, a big talking point's going to be, does Rob Holding start at centre-back? Arteta was kind of trolling in the press conference whether Saliba was fit or not. He talking about Eddie. He basically said that one of the injured players might train tomorrow, which means they'll probably be available for Sunday. Is he talking about Saliba or is he talking about Eddie and Nketiah? He obviously doesn't want to let Klopp know whether Saliba's fit or not. Mind games. Hopefully Saliba is fit because we need him. If not, if Holding's playing, we've got to protect him. We've got to protect him. Gabriel's got to stay close. Partey's got to sit in front. Ben White's got to get narrow. And we protect him in that way. I think we can beat Liverpool. I'm going for it. I'm going for a 2-1 Arsenal win. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say that this Arsenal team have got the minerals. Is it going to be a hard game? 100%. I think if we can see off that first 20 minutes, we can get on top of them and win the game. However, If they score in the first 15, 20 and Anfield's rocking and we're shaky, it'll be a long, long day at the office. Make no mistake about it. I'm not delusional enough to think that we can't get beat. If we don't handle this game properly, we get beat. If we handle it the way we are capable of handling it, I think we can beat them. We beat Chelsea away from home. We beat Tottenham away from home. We've been to Villa Park and beat them. We've been to Brighton and beat them. You know, Man City, we haven't played away in the Premier League yet. So you look at that league table, most of the teams we've played in the top half of the table away from home, we've beaten them. You know, Man United, we were a little bit naive. I think even in that game, we should have got at least a point. Our game actually does suit playing away from home. We are very effective on the counter-attack. We ripped Fulham apart on the break. We hit Villa on the break. We hit Tottenham on the break. We hit Brighton on the break. We've got to have that belief. I don't care what's happened at Anfield in the last 10 years. It's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. It didn't happen to this team. It didn't happen to this group of players. Go there with 29 points in front of this Liverpool team. Their season is done and dusted if they lose this game. Nothing to play for. No top four. No cups. Let's stamp on their neck and finish their season. End it. Brookside finished. Over. Steven Gerrard, slippy days. Sorry, Liverpool fans. I do respect Liverpool, but we have to turn up and end their season and go and win that title. Because trust me, Pep will be sitting there going, this is one of the games they need Arsenal to drop points. Pep will have looked at this and gone, right, they're going to try and beat Southampton. You would expect them to, although we're clinging to hope that they'll fight out a draw or something. He will be looking at Liverpool and going, Liverpool can get something. If we win this game, I think it puts us in an unbelievable position moving forward. Now, another thing I want to just quickly point out, and I don't want to look too far ahead here. Let's take it one game at a time. In 2 weeks' time, Manchester City play an FA Cup game on the weekend that we play Southampton on the Friday night. So they will be 2 games behind us, is what I'm trying to say. If we can win our next 3 games, Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton, because they will have 2 games in hand, we would be 11 points clear. They would have 2 games in hand. But at this stage, you would always rather have the points than the games in hand. I know, obviously, that's looking a little bit far ahead. Manchester City have got Champions League midweek this week against Bayern Munich at home. The following week, they got to go Bayern Munich away. Those midweeks will be chilling, resting up. It's going to be crunch time now, people. Because let's be honest, if City beat Southampton and we lose, all of a sudden, they're 5 points behind us with a game in hand and we're nervous because they've still got our players. I think we can beat them. I'm going for a 2-1 win. I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to have too much for them on the counter-attack. I think where we've struggled against Liverpool over the years is the transition in midfield. I don't think Liverpool have the same midfield anymore. I think Jordan Henderson can be got at. I think Fabinho has struggled this season. I know Thiago's back, but I think you can hurt that Liverpool midfield. Where in previous years, I think their midfielders ran all over us. Fabinho's bullied us. Henderson's work rate. I think we can dominate the midfield. I think we'll hurt their fullbacks. Gabby Jesus is back. I think we'll beat Liverpool 2-1. And I think we'll go marching on. I honestly think we're going to beat them. It's a tough game, but we're 29 points clear of them. They haven't won in their last 3 games. I think we'll see off that first 15 minutes. Anfield will go quiet, and then I think we'll start dominating. So we'll have to see. But I'm going to be honest, I really hope William Saliba is fit and available. No disrespect. And we are capable of winning with Rob Holding, but every Arsenal fan wants to see Saliba there, let's be honest. It'll be a similar performance as Spurs away. 2-0, said George. Kev said 1-0. The team lineup from last season is really different. We have gone levels above that. We are a totally different outfit now, 100%. Klopp switched up against Chelsea. He doesn't know his best team. Even if we win tomorrow, Newcastle and City away still to come. Tough games. Etihad being the toughest. Not won there since 2015. Yeah, I agree. Listen, we're still clinging to that little hope as well that, you know, City have got to go to Brighton away, which is a tough game. We've seen how good Brighton are. They've got to play us. Let's not keep saying we've got to play them. They've got to play us. They've got to play Chelsea. They've got to go to Everton. You know, Everton are tough. They're battling for their lives. They've just drawn with Tottenham. I think there'll be a lot of twists and turns. I think City will drop points as well. They go to Brentford last game of the season. Obviously, a lot could change if Ivan Toney is suspended or banned or whatever at that point. But if Saliba is not 100% fit, do not risk him, says Hendon Gunnar. I mean, yeah. You can't, can you, really? But it depends. It depends. If he's 90% fit, maybe they would risk him. Because a 90% fit Saliba, no disrespect, is probably better than 100% fit Holding. If he's 60-70% fit, you can't risk it because there are a lot of games to come. Kev said Jesus is so important to hold it up and take them down. He's our get-at ball, isn't he, Jesus? When you're under pressure, you get the ball up to him, he holds the ball up well, and then he links up play with the supporting players. I'm so excited and equally nervous for the game on Sunday. I wish the game was today. We've still got 2 days to go, but looking forward to it. Listen, thank you very much for tuning in today, people. Happy Good Friday to everybody who's chilling. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. We'll be back on tomorrow. I might do a watch-along for the Man City game. We'll do a little preview for the Arsenal-Liverpool game as well. And Sunday, huge watch-along, 4:30 kickoff. I'm actually going to go live an hour before the game. So we're going to go live 3:30. It's such a big game. Arsenal against Liverpool from Anfield. Enjoy your Easter weekend. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.